you are invited to a murder. Arlington Grange, home of Mrs. Peacock, twice widowed. Her wealth has given her the social status she demands as a pillar of the community. Colonel Mustard, an ambitious ex-SAS officer whose new role as security advisor to foreign governments gives him a taste for politics. Reverend Green, Vicar of Arlington, tirelessly campaigns to save the environment thanks to the indulgence and financial support of Mrs. Peacock. Professor Plum, American businessman whose doubtful dealings on the British stock market have threatened an otherwise promising career. Miss Scarlett has fallen for Colonel Mustard. Marriage to him will unlock her trust fund and free her from the controls of her stepmother, Mrs. Peacock. Mrs. White, housekeeper at the Grange and trusted friend of Mrs. Peacock, knows all the secrets of the village, perhaps too well. 6 people with murder on their minds.
Good evening. A murder has been committed at Arlington Grange. To solve the crime, we have to discover who did it, with what weapon, and in which room the murder took place, in classic Cluedo style. And here to unravel the clues using both deduction and elimination are tonight's detectives. First, an actor of many parts, but his most famous perhaps was playing the assassin in Day of the Jackal, Edward Fox. Are you going to be hitting the target tonight, Edward?
Bang on.
Who's your partner in crime?
Bob Kettle.
Yeah.
And he's a sleuth in real life.
A real sleuth. What
right?
links you to the world of crime, Bob? I mean, you out there on the streets with the gumshoes?
Yes. No, not the gumshoes, yeah. But we're out there on the streets. I've been doing it for 20 years with my assistant and sidekick, my dear wife. But we do a variety of work.
You have a Scottish accent, but
You've noticed.
Do you trade up there?
No, I didn't do it up there. I just come down to England to do it. Must be more crime down here.
And against you this evening is someone that's recently been seen as an MP's wife in the TV film of First Among Equals, Joanna David. Will you be first to the solution tonight, Joanna?
Well, it would be wonderful if we were, and I think there's all hope with Bob's wife, Eileen Kettle.
Eileen, Bob said that you do your business in England. Which part of England?
Yorkshire?
Who plays the nice guy?
Mostly me. He's got a vicious streak in him.
We'll see plenty of that this evening. Our detectives. Now, our investigations suggest that in tonight's murder, one of these 6 weapons was used to do the killing. A statuette, a card sharp's gun, some poison, this knife, a black tie, or was it this crook lock? And there's another part of the mystery for our detectives to solve this evening. In which room at the Grange did the murder actually take place? Was it in the drawing room, in the study, in the kitchen, in the dining room, in the billiard room, or was it in the library? And now to the evidence. In the events leading up to the murder, the local member of Parliament has died. Who will take his place? Colonel Mustard certainly has Mrs. Peacock's vote, but there is one other possible candidate, a certain Mr. Chapman, who also happens to be Professor Plum's boss. Well, as befits the occasion, a government minister attends the funeral. We join the mourners at the graveside.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Amen. There are those who do good in a very public way, wanting everyone to know of their generosity. And there are those who do good quietly, behind the scenes, not wanting public appreciation. Now that our long-serving Member of Parliament, Stephen Taylor, is no longer with us, let us hope and pray that he was one of these.
Well, Mike, are you going to put your name forward? I do think you would make the most wonderful MP.
With so many friends backing me, how can I refuse?
You know, you can always count on my support.
And your support will bring the selection committee around.
It should. The amount I'm saving the local association by paying for today's festivities. What does that mean, surplus to requirements?
I would have thought it was fairly obvious even to a Harvard graduate. We don't need you anymore. The company can do without a reputation for insider trading.
Well, nobody's ever proved that.
Your secondment is not going to be renewed.
Where does that leave me?
Back in America, lecturing.
Mr. Chapman, that's not fair.
Think how satisfying it would be to be back in academia. You'll hardly notice the drop in salary. You'll be so happy.
25 years he was in the House of Commons and never once got up on his feet. So there's not much difference now he's dead, is there?
You're right, Mrs. White.
Oh, I know I'm right, Mr. White. And you know I'm not one to speak ill of the dead. But they say he was a bit bilingual, if you know what I mean.
He was such a nice man.
Oh, he was. I was just saying to Mr. White how much he'll be missed.
Yes, he's a great loss to us, a great loss.
Sherry, Mrs. P.
No, thank you, Blanche, but we'll make sure the minister's looked after, won't you?
Oh, of course.
He may not have been much in the public eye, but those of us who worked with him had a great deal of respect for him, let me tell you.
We all did, Minister.
Dry as your ear, isn't it, John?
Oh, thank you, David.
Even so, I think we should look for a different style of candidate to take his place. You don't agree, David?
It's not that. I just don't think this is the time or the place to go into who will replace Mr. Taylor, especially as Colonel Mustard and myself are both likely to have our names put forward. We've come here to pay our respects, not to start campaigning.
Well, that goes without saying, of course.
Minister, Mrs. Peacock, please excuse me.
Just think, one day you might be able to say that you know the wife of the British Prime Minister. Do you think they'll interview the woman behind the great man?
Has Action Man proposed yet?
No, but he's bound to when he gets selected. Constituency can't afford another unmarried candidate. We don't want any rumours like the last time.
At the weekend? Yes.
Have you seen Mrs. Peacock?
Not in a little while, no. Why? Is there something wrong?
Oh, no, nothing. It's all right. She won't have gone far.
Get to the point, Mr. Chapman.
What I had, Mrs. Peacock.
Really? And what if I tell you that I am supporting Colonel Mustard?
I would advise you very strongly to reconsider.
Go away, Mr. Chapman. I am not interested.
No, but Special Branch might be interested in this. Your Colonel Mustard seems to be sending security advisors to some very interesting countries, wouldn't you say?
Everything Mike does is legal.
I'm sure it is. But it wouldn't help his campaign or his business if rumours started going about the Special Branch had been sent a detailed dossier on his activities.
Ridiculous if you think you can frighten Mike with this nonsense.
And then, when rumours start circulating about how his principal backer got her money, what then? Weren't your husband's accidents rather too convenient?
Get out!
You never know. Even the police might start taking notice after a while. Think about it, Mrs. Peacock. Ask yourself, is it worth it?
Will the government finally accept the green message?
I can assure you, Reverend, the message is well and truly held. I was saying only the other day...
Cruelty to animals is still rife, Minister. People are still putting their gardens in front of wildlife. Moles are being massacred all over the...